Jobs had a very interesting youth life. Worked at the Helmet Picard Company and started attending after-school lectures as he was interested in computers. He was introduced to this techno-geek named Steve Wozniak. They started building mini computers and sold them to computer hobbyists. They built this gold mine computer called the Apple I. Now, let me walk you through Steve Jobs' work, the most exciting one of all. Apple got started when Woz really wanted to sell off the Apple I that he gave away with no listings or no copyright notices. So Steve Jobs told Woz, let's start a company. So they hired a businessman, Ron Wayne, to get some help on Apple. On April 1st, 1976, Apple got started, and the Apple I was on sale for $666. And that led to a huge hit, and people went crazy over it. Then came along the Apple II, which gave a huge $3 million into Apple's fundings. But the luck didn't last them so far, because when the Apple III came out, it was a huge flop. Don't look down now. There's still a lot of exciting things coming your way. I quote, if you're interested by something, you don't need to be pushed. The vision pulls you. End quote. Coming into Steve Jobs' family, Steve Jobs married Lauren Paul Jobs on March 18, 1991. They had 4 kids, Lisa Vernon, Irene, Eve, and Reed. You might find this strange, but his kids were not allowed to use iPads. Sadly, Steve Jobs died on October 5th, 2011 due to cancer. And I quote, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. End quote. No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. Steve Jobs' first mistake went up to the makeup soda and said, do you want to sell sugar water for the rest of your life? Or do you want to come with me and change the world? Scully took the bait. And within 2 years, Steve Jobs was fired due to Scully. Wow. Can you imagine? Steve Jobs was kicked out of his own company. And yet, he didn't give up. Steve Jobs' second mistake was, he tried to sell the Pixar company on many occasions just to equal on his investment. And his third mistake was, he dumped all of his stocks when he was booted from Apple. Believe it or not, even a great guy like Steve Jobs gets criticized. He got criticized for bringing in John Scully, the maker of soda, into Apple, because after that, Apple was a disaster. And he also got criticized for ignoring his daughter, Lisa Vernon. And even though he's an entrepreneur worth $10 billion, he got criticized for dropping out of Reed College. Now, let's slide in the page of rejection. Steve Jobs got rejected by Adobe's co-founder, Charles, when he tried to buy the company and integrate into Apple, but Charles rejected it. He also got rejected by his own Apple teammates due to Steve Jobs' themed apps. Wow, can you believe that Steve Jobs was rejected by his own company? And now, let's walk through his happiest moments. Outstanding achievements! When Steve Jobs created the iPod, it was a huge hit. People went crazy over it. Then came along the iPhone, where you named the feature and it was in the iPhone. Then comes everyone's favorite, the iPad. Now, let's see through some of Steve Jobs' awards. Steve Jobs won many awards. Let me name some. He won the Grammy Trustees Award, Jefferson Award of Greatest Public Service, the PJ Vanguard Award, and he was also referred to as a legendary, a futurist, and the father of digital revolution. If you love Apple products, give this amazing man a huge round of applause. You guys might be wondering why I chose Steve Jobs. I chose Steve Jobs because he made many mistakes throughout his whole career, but he manages to learn from it and move on. And he changed the whole world, and he's an excellent role model. In conclusion, what I learned in confidence class, this courage and confidence to stand in front of all of you is because of the confidence class I attended. What I learned being on these classes, to always take criticism as something to learn from, like Steve Jobs did. She also helped me improve on my public speaking skills. Now, before shutting off, thank you, Vidyanti. Thank you to the Honorable Judge, Ms. Rubin, for taking time out of her busy schedule and be here and read her speeches. Thank you to my parents for all their support. And last but not least, you guys, the wonderful audience, for being patient and listening to our speeches. Thank you. Scully fired Jobs because when the Macintosh computer came out, it was a huge flop, and Scully suggested on reducing the price and reducing advertisement, but Scully had a strong disagreement against that. And also another reason that led to it, Steve Jobs was very hard on his workers, so Scully went to the board and fired Jobs.
And you said that he dropped out at the first semester of school. Do you think that was a wise choice for him?
Well, I really don't think so, because I think he could have done better with his education, but he still did really good without his education.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I can take one question from the audience. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, he was live today, and you met him, also you asked him, so you have a question.
Why did he drop out of college?
Yeah.